evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Assalamualaikum. Together with the Presidential Communications Office, we bring you the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news coverage from the People's Television, IBC, Philippine News Agency, Philippine Information Agency, and Presidential Broadcast Service. I'm Princess Habiba Saripauda from Radyo Pilipinas. Welcome to Balitang Pambansa. Tonight's headlines. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. once again led the Alyansa para sa Bagong Pilipinas campaign rally in Negros Occidental. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. signs a measure that seeks to suspend the elections in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao or BARMM. Newly appointed Department of Transportation or DOTR Secretary Vince Dizon ordered the suspension of the implementation of full cashless payment in expressways. The Department of Social Welfare and Development or DSWD has started the distribution of cash grants to 4-piece beneficiaries who are pregnant or have children aged 0 to 2 years old. The Bureau of Customs or BOC seizes 44 luxury cars from a car repair shop in Taguig City. On top of the news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. leads the campaign for the administration's 12 senatorial candidates under Alyansa para sa Bagong Pilipinas before a crowd of around 10,000 in Victoria City Coliseum, Negros Occidental earlier today. PTV's Melales Moras tells us more.
In front of around 10,000 people at Victoria City Coliseum in Negros Occidental, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. personally campaigned for the 12 senatorial candidates of the administration for the Hatol ng Bayan 2025. This include former DILG Secretary Benher Abalos, Makati City Mayor Abby Binay, Senator Bong Revilla, Senator Pia Cayetano, former Senator Ping Lacson, Senator Lito Lapid, Senator Amy Marcos, former Senator Manny Pacquiao, former Senator Tito Soto, Senator Francis Tolentino, Representative Erwin Tulfo, and Representative Camille Villar.
Pinagsama-sama po natin at hinanap po natin talaga po ay pinag-aralan ng mabuti kung sino ba talaga ang pinakamagagaling. Hindi lang yung sikat ang pangalan, hindi lang yung kilala sa buong Pilipinas. Kung hindi, tinignan po natin kung ano ba ang kanilang naging record, kung ano ba talaga ang kanilang nagawa.
According to President Marcos Jr., the Alyansa has the best intentions for the country. That's why Filipinos must support them in the upcoming elections. The chief executive believes that work in the government will be better with the Alyansa bets on their side.
Napakapalad ko bilang Pangulo na makakasama ko sila, na sila kasama sa executive, sila ay nasa legislatura, kasama namin sa executive ay mayroon kaming tulungan, magkakatulungan po kami. At wala na akong hihingin kung sino ba yung mas magaling pa kaysa sa dito sa grupong ito.
In the coming days and weeks, the Alyansa para sa Bagong Pilipinas will be going to other parts of the country to reach more Filipinos and share their plans and goals for the Philippines.
Ang alam pa lang namin so far, nasa San Jose del Monte, Bulacan kami on February 28. And then Camarines Sur, March 7. No, in between, bahala kami na lumakad ng sarili-sarili.
Nagkaroon ng agreement ang lahat, bawasan natin, alisin natin, gawin natin 21 para makapagkampanya kung saan man na baluarte. Tapos yung mga gusto pumunta sa mga OFW, may panahon na pumunta.
From PTV, Melales Moras, Balitang Pambansa.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Assured Negrenses of continued government support for employment, livelihood, and welfare. During a job fair in Dumaguete City, he encouraged communication with local agencies for assistance and highlighted affordable products through Kadiwa outlets. Governor Sagarbaria noted over 1 billion pesos in aid was provided, boosting tourism and generating jobs. The fair offered 1,700 job vacancies and livelihood opportunities. The event was aimed at empowering 4-piece beneficiaries with better job prospects and more access to essential services. Meanwhile, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has signed into law a measure postponing the parliamentary elections of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, or BARMM. Malacanang confirmed on Friday that law was signed over an hour after it was revealed by Commission on Elections, or COMELEC Chair George Erwin Garcia during a press conference. The BARMM parliamentary elections, originally scheduled on May 12, will be held on October 13, 2025. Earlier this month, the poll body postponed the printing of ballots for the BARMM parliamentary elections following the bicameral conference committee's decision to move the dates for the election. A further tweaking of the radio frequency identification, or RFID payment scheme, is in order to optimize cashless toll collection and expressway toll booths, newly minted Transportation Chief Vince Dizon announced today. Mounting complaints from motorists over the years point to glitches in the system that have led to costly fines for motorists and snarled traffic at the toll booths time and again. Dizon claims and blames the system as anti-poor. Our Kenneth Pasyente fills us in with more.
Following his appointment as Transportation Chief, Secretary Vince Dizon immediately ordered the suspension of full cashless payment on expressways. This comes after the announcement from the Toll Regulatory Board, or TRB, that all vehicles passing through expressways must have radio frequency identification, or RFID, starting March 15, or else they will be fined from 1,000 to 2,500 pesos. Dizon explained that the system should first be perfected before its implementation.
This was tried already in the past, no, several years ago. And we probably all remember what happened in Bagintawak and in other choke points on NLEX and SLEX. Nagkabulbul yan. No? Kasi, I guess for whatever reason, hindi na-disseminate ang information.
Dizon also called this proposal anti-poor, as not everyone can afford or has the time to top up their RFID. The Secretary will coordinate with toll operators to discuss the system.
Naiintindihan ko yung need to regulate. Naiintindihan ko yun. No? Pero kailangan, the need to regulate should not result in making the lives of people difficult.
Today, Dizon formally took his oath before President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. The President directed him to expedite the construction of the government's infrastructure projects to ensure a well-organized and efficient transportation system in the country. This aims to alleviate the daily struggles of commuters. The Secretary will also focus on short-term solutions to transportation issues, including making the EDSA busway more efficient by speeding up the dispatch of buses to prevent traffic congestion. He also stressed the need to increase the number of new MRT trains and develop sidewalks for individuals who do not need to commute to work or school. The Secretary will also address issues surrounding big-ticket infrastructure projects, including right-of-way issues.
Pero ang right-of-way, ang solusyon niyan hindi lang manggagaling sa Department of Transportation. Ang solusyon ng right-of-way ay manggagaling sa local government units, sa ating mga mayor, sa ating mga governor. Manggagaling yan sa ating private sector kasi marami sa mga lupang kailangang gamitin ay nasa kamay ng pribadong sektor. And we have to work together. No? At manggagaling yan sa mga iba't ibang ahensya ng national government.
Regarding the PUV modernization program, Dizon said he supports it but emphasized the need for a thorough review and consultation with the transport sector.
Brainer yan. No? Pero siguro kailangan pag-aralan ng mabuti. No? Aaminin ko, hindi ko pa masyadong kabisado ang mga issues, pero sa nababasa ko sa mga na-report nyo in the past, ang kailangan talagang kausapin natin dito ay yung mga transport workers, yung ating mga operator, yung ating mga driver. Kasi at the end of the day, kung ano ang dagdag na gastos, sila ang kailangan mag-bear nun, sila ang sasalo nun. No? At kailangan kausapin natin sila ng mabuti. No? At At yung tingin ko ang kailangan natin gawin. Yung masinsinang usapan, no? Tingin ko naman, naniniwala naman po ako na ang ating mga jeepney operators, jeepney drivers, hindi nila hahadlangan ang pag-unlad. Hindi nila hahadlangan ang modernisasyon. Pero, tingin ko, meron din silang mga lehitimong concerns na kailangan pakinggan ng gobyerno.
The Secretary also plans to request the LTO to speed up the processing of license plates, stating that with modern technology, there should be no reason for delays. He also announced the expected entry of new DOTR officials. According to him, time should not be wasted, and it is better to have officials who already understand the system to ensure the agency's operations run smoothly. However, some incumbent transportation officials will still remain in the agency. From PTV Manila, Kenneth Pasyente, Balitang Pambansa.
The remains of Police Colonel Perginto Malabed Jr., who died in a U.S. aircraft collision in January, arrived at Ninoy Aquino International Airport on Friday and was honored at Camp Crame. He was posthumously awarded the PNP Distinguished Service and Outstanding Achievement Medals, and his remains will stay at the PNP mortuary until February 24 for necrological services. Malabed, who was among the 67 victims of the January 29 crash, will be laid to rest on February 27 in Santa Rosa, Laguna.
Ang kanyang mga labi ay mananatili sa PNP Mortuary Camp Crame hanggang Pebrero 24, kung saan idaraos ang necrological services bilang pagpupugay sa kanyang buhay at paglilingkod bago siya ihatid sa kanyang bayan sa Santa Rosa, Laguna. Naway magsilbing inspirasyon sa ating ang kanyang di matatawarang paglilingkod dito sa ating bayan.
On the other news, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, launched its first 1,000 days, or F1KD live cash grants to give support to 4-piece households who have pregnant women or children 0 to 2 years old. PTV's Floyd Brands has the details.
The Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, launched the first 1,000 days or F1KD grants this morning in Quezon City. It is intended to extend support to 4-piece households with pregnant women or children to 2 years old.
Sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay dagdag suporta na ito, nilalayong tiyakin na ang bawat bata ng 4-piece household ay mabibigyan ng pagkakataon na lumaki na naaabot ang kanilang buong potensyal. Ang DSWD ay naniniwala na ang pamumuhunan sa kinabukasan ng mga kabataan ay pamumuhunan sa hinaharap ng ating bansa.
During the launching, a commitment signing for the implementation of the F1KD was participated by the 4-piece National Advisory Council, 4-piece National Technical Working Group, local government units, local chief executive, development partners, and civil society organizations to signify their support for the program. More than 68,000 pregnant women and children aged 0 to 2 years old from eligible 4-piece households nationwide will receive 350 pesos monthly. Beneficiaries must comply with the conditionalities of the program, including accessing prenatal services at DOH accredited health facilities, tracking pregnancy, childbirthing or delivery at a DOH accredited health facility, attending postnatal visits, participating in counseling sessions, and obtaining micronutrient supplements and immunizations.
Hindi siya makaka-avail ng 350 pesos kung hindi siya i-comply yung mga conditions. Kaya nga malakas ang aming awareness raising sa ating family development sessions. Mayroon kami mga municipal links, yung mga case managers ang tawag, na talagang tinututukan, binibisita sa bahay. Tinitingnan kung siya ba talaga ay nagkukumpay sa mga conditions.
The F1KD launch was part of the DSWD 74th anniversary celebration, where there was a ceremonial payout to some 50 pregnant women and 0 to 2-year-old children beneficiaries from selected areas in Quezon City, San Jose del Monte City, Bulacan, San Mateo, and Rodriguez, Rizal. The program was under the directive of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. to provide cash grants to pregnant and lactating women to ensure they seek health services to address the health needs of their children in their first 1,000 days of life. From PTV Manila, Floyd Brands, Balitang Pambansa.
44 luxury vehicles were seized from a car repair shop in Taguig believed to be owned by POGO bosses and foreign nationals who hid the cars under Filipino names. The Bureau of Customs, or BOC, estimates the total value of the cars at 900 million pesos and is awaiting the owner's documentation. The shop's manager has promised to cooperate with the investigation, which has also uncovered 300 million pesos in lost taxes due to improper payments.
For about 2 to 3 weeks, nag-surveillance po tayo sa area at nakita nga po natin na marami pong mamahaling sasakyan na ating nakatago po dito. At ang lugar daw po na ito ay nag-i-store ng mga mamahaling sasakyan sa may kapalit po na or monthly or yearly or long-term na pagbayad upang maitago mga sasakyan. May mga reports din po kasi natanggap ang opisina, intelligence group, na yung mga nagsilisan na po ng mga POGO boss or POGO operators ay tinago ang kanilang mga sasakyan, imbis ibenta ng mura, ay tinago raw sa iba't ibang mga establishmento. At isa po to sa isang tinuturo na pinagtataguan.
On the other news, the Department of Justice, or DOJ, and the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR, inked a deal on improved cooperation in going after those engaged in environmental crimes. Led by their respective chiefs who signed to seal the deal, the MOA provides a stronger case build-up policy to hold to greater account the felons who harm the environment through harsher penalties and stiffer fines. The deal also assures ample funding to train DOJ prosecutors in litigating environmental crimes and immerse DENR law enforcers as well. A pending joint circular lays down the guidelines for the designation of DENR trial attorneys to prosecute wildlife and forestry transgressions if need be. The Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation, or PAGCOR, recorded its highest ever revenue in over 4 decades, surpassing 100 billion pesos in 2023, marking a 40% increase from the previous year. PAGCOR Chair Alejandro Tanco emphasized that 65% of the agency's earnings are returned to the public through remittances to the National Treasury and funding for key government programs such as the Universal Health Care Act and the Renewable Energy Act. In addition to financial milestones, Chairman Tanco highlighted one of PAGCOR's significant achievements, the complete closure of Philippine offshore gaming operators, or POGOs, in compliance with the directive of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. PAGCOR also announced its upcoming projects, which include the construction of specialty hospitals, high-quality classrooms, socio-civic centers, and other infrastructure that will benefit the public.
Ako si Juanito Castañares Alquiris, ug asawa si TC Canania Alquiris nga nagpuyo diri sa resettlement site sa Kalisuhan, Guadalupe, Carcar City, Cebu. Mauni ang atoang gamay nga yuta nga hinatag sa DAR, itutuluhan sa DAR. Mauni atoang mga binuhing baboy. Mauni nakapahuman og papaeskwela sa among mga anak. Nakapahuman mi og 5 ka anak. Nagpasalamat mi kay dako sa atong mahal nga presidente Bongbong Marcos ug sa atong sekretary sa DAR nga si Conrado Estrella III nga mao'y nagbuhat sa titulo sa among yuta nga ilang gihatag namo ang 2,400 square meter.
Si Mr. Juanito Alquiris, mga anak na po yan ng mga naghihintay.
back, a 3.9 million peso solar-powered ice black machine was inaugurated in Pilar, Cebu to help local fishers preserve their catch and reduce operational costs. Led by the Department of Agriculture or DA, this initiative aims to boost income opportunities for the fishing community by extending the freshness of fish and other perishable goods while reducing operating costs in the area. DA Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel Jr. emphasized the importance of proper icing, stating that fish can remain fresh for up to 7 days and allows fishers to access better market prices. The project includes a complete ice production system powered by solar system, featuring a hybrid inverter, water filtration, a container-type ice block system, and a stainless steel crusher. The machine can produce 150 kilogram of ice per cycle, with each block weighing 5 kilogram, with the capacity to operate up to 4 times a day, producing around 30 ice blocks per cycle. The facility is expected to enhance fish preservation in the region. The Department of Agriculture, or DA, has expanded its temporary ban on the poultry imports due to recent outbreaks of avian flu in several regions. The ban includes restrictions on poultry products such as meat, eggs, and day-old chicks from affected areas. These and more in tonight's Business Wrap from the Philippine News Agency.
In our business news, the Department of Agriculture has temporarily banned the import of poultry products from 4 U.S. states to prevent the spread of highly pathogenic avian influenza. This came after the U.S. Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service confirmed on February 3 the outbreaks of H5N1 bird flu in Illinois, Minnesota, Ohio, and Wisconsin. Agriculture Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel Jr. ordered the suspension of processing and issuance of sanitary and phytosanitary import clearances on poultry products from the 4 U.S. states. The temporary ban includes the import of domestic and wild birds, poultry meat, eggs, day-old chicks, and semen. The DA earlier imposed a similar import ban in the U.S. states of Maryland, Missouri, and South Dakota, as well as in East Otago, Waitaki, and Canterbury in New Zealand. In other news, motorcycle sales in the country increased by 7% in 2024, according to the Motorcycle Development Program Participants Association, or MDPBA. At least 1.68 million motorcycles were sold last year from 1.57 million in 2023. The MDPPA cited the upcoming 2025 elections, favorable economic conditions, and House bills supporting the motorcycle industry among the factors behind the increase in sales. It said this is the highest sales figure for the motorcycle sector in over 5 years. Meanwhile, automobile manufacturers plan to sell 500,000 cars in 2025, exceeding last year's over 467,000 units. The Chamber of Automotive Manufacturers in the Philippines Incorporated, or CAMPI, said they are banking on the newly rolled out models and the introduction of new models later this year. This January, CAMPI's joint report with the Truck Manufacturers Association of the Philippines showed that they have sold 37,604 units, 79.4% of which consisting of commercial vehicles. They also sold 1,445 hybrid electronic vehicles, 146 battery electric vehicles, and 9 plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. That's the latest business news from the Philippine News Agency. This is Wilnard Basilonia for Balitang Pambansa.
Yet another feather in the cap for the country's Queen City of the South. An internationally based digital platform has named Cebu City as the second safest haven or home for pet canines and felines in the entire continent. The complete feature report from PIA's Central Visayas correspondent, Zoana Rose Lopez.
Digital travel platform Agoda has ranked Cebu City as the second most pet-friendly travel destination in Asia. Cebu City veterinarian Dr. Alice Utlang said the city is strictly implementing RA 8485 and other pertinent laws to protect the welfare of the animals.
First is our hotels, restaurants, and atong mga kaning malls, no? Because they accept pets. But if you look at it in other criteria, pasok ang atoa sa Cebu City. It's because one is we have ordinances that protects the welfare of the dogs and cats. We don't impound, but we do CNVR or cats vaccinate, neuter, and return to where the dog was picked up.
Eric Kiskisan, who adopted 9 dogs, is asking Cebuanos to adopt more animals and help lessen the number of stray dogs in Cebu City.
Naot nga sa tanang mga fur mom and dads nga naot managhantan yung mga adopt aron malesen na ang mga stray dogs sa kalsada.
Dr. Utlang is encouraging Cebuanos to be more responsible pet owners by registering their pet with the DMFV office.
From the Philippine Information Agency Central Visayas, Luana Rose Lopez, Balitang Pambansa.
80 years have passed since the Battle of Manila broke out on February 3, 1945. To shed light on new information, insights, and perspectives, this significant event, the National Historical Commission of the Philippines brought together representatives from the Philippines, United States, and Japan to engage in a conversation. Jana Pineda from Philippine Information Agency National Capital Region tells us more.
In a historic occasion, representatives from the Philippines, Japan, and the United States gathered together to engage in a scholarly conversation 80 years after the Battle of Manila broke out in February 1945. This gathering took place at the international conference organized by the National Historical Commission of the Philippines in close collaboration with the Philippine World War II Memorial Foundation, with the goal of providing a deeper understanding of war history beyond telling the nation's side of the story. The participants of the conference shared war memories in the context of history and research studies that mostly tackled the plight and bravery of Filipinos during the war.
Generally speaking, we are not taught much about what happened in the Philippines 80 years ago. So I'm learning myself what happened because as a Japanese, I feel it's really painful what our ancestors committed to Filipino people.
They must not forget what sacrifices the Filipino people made during the war. No one asked them to do it. They were not ordered by the Americans. They were not ordered by anybody. What they did was, it's really sa loob, you know, the heart and the strength of the Filipinos. It makes me cry.
Commemoration, information, and cooperation. These were the important goals that were promoted through this conference towards shaping a more empowered nation and keeping the history alive. From the Philippine Information Agency National Capital Region, Jana Pineda, Balitang Pambansa.
In Borongan City, Eastern Summer, trophies are more than just awards. They tell a story of transformation, turning discarded wood into meaningful symbols of victory. V. Tolentino Gumban of Philippine Information Agency Eastern Samar tells us more.
During the recent Eastern Visayas Regional Schools Press Conference and the Regional Festival of Talents, winners did not take home the usual factory-made trophies. Instead, they received handcrafted awards made from repurposed wood, thanks to an innovative project led by Edgar Tenasas, OIC Schools Division Superintendent of Borongan City, the host of the 2 regional events alongside the city government of Borongan.
Hindi po to mga bagong kahoy. Ito po ay pinagsama-sama namin, pinangolekta namin sa mga bahay-bahay. Pero siyempre, binibili po namin kasi nakakahiya din naman. Pero yung iba po, binibigay po. So, hindi po to mga Hindi po to mga bago.
Tinasas personally collected abandoned wood from barangay schools, then worked with a local furniture maker to shape them into a one-of-a-kind trophies. Each piece carries a deeper meaning. The intricate carvings represent Borongan's lush forests and rich biodiversity, while the hands in the design symbolize protection, honoring nature while lifting up student achievement. For the winners, these awards are more than just prizes. They stand as reminders that creativity and sustainability go hand in hand. Beyond the competitions, the impact of this initiative continues. Inside the Borongan City Division office, wooden artworks made from the same repurposed materials served as a lasting legacy of the project. Through this initiative, Borongan City proves that success isn't just about winning. It's also about making a difference. And sometimes the greatest achievement doesn't come from what is new, but from what was once forgotten. From the Philippine Information Agency Eastern Samar, Vito Lintino Gumbang, Balitang Pambansa.
Allahumma balig na Ramadan, 8 nights and it's Ramadan. And that concludes a rundown of the latest, widest and most comprehensive news and information from all across the nation. This is your trusted news source, always ready to inform and serve the Filipino people. Catch Balitang Pambansa again next week at 7 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. for more updates and developments. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Princess Habiba Saripao Daak, and this is your Balitang Pambansa.